Monday. Glad you're with us here. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Barry McKnight, John Longshore. Whew. What a weekend. Had to catch my breath yesterday.
What a weekend. I got to spend it in Monroe, Louisiana.
I know you
so
did.
I'm a winner either way. You know?
I saw Troy didn't fall behind by 3 touchdowns early. I was impressed.
Yeah. And, we beat a terrible storm coming through.
Oh, okay.
We got out of Monroe just in time. I mean, our post game, we had lightning crashing around the press box and everything.
Ooh, wow.
The rain let up just enough for us to pack the car with the equipment and get out of here. And then from Monroe east back to Alabama, we kind of beat the weather, although there was a terrible traffic jam. So we also got to do one of my favorite things, and that is listen to a radio broadcast.
Oh,
it was actually, I must say, we listened to several, including, I had.
Wait a minute. Are you going quad audio here?
No, I would say on the road, I'm in charge of navigation and I'm in charge of tunes. That's my deal. And in this case, when you have your phone, just like a lot of you listen to Longshore and McKnight, you can pretty much listen to any radio broadcast. Yeah. So we decided as a group, we took a vote of it. We decided to go back and forth between the Auburn radio broadcast and the Alabama radio broadcast. Thought we'd take it. It was, I love both of those guys. You and I are friends with both Andy Burcham and Chris Stewart, and I think the absolute world of both of them. But there was a markedly different tone on the radio broadcasts, especially near the end. And for Auburn, the end came a little bit after, if I remember correctly, the end of the Alabama game, because it was extended. And Chris was full of joy, light and laughter, confetti. He had a good line, in the fourth quarter. He said, "Don't you dare start smoking cigars yet, but at least you better go start finding them."
Yeah. Matter of fact, Barry, they have these cameras in the booth, and
oh yeah,
I wasn't able to partake into Andy's broadcast, but all of my reps out there that usually send me those clips, if you've got it, go ahead and send it, because the one for the Georgia game was good. But I did see where Chris actually did light up a cigar in the booth when the game was over.
Yep. He wasn't the only one.
No.
I'm thinking Tyler was over there sneaking a puff about the third quarter. So
I got a photo of 2 18-year-olds that had one lit up that we're gonna have a little talk about later today.
We got the full experience. I love listening. I mean, I've always been a radio guy. I love listening to play-by-play on the radio. Later on, we're listening to Stanford and Florida State and all of this. But mostly, except for our driver Jerry Miller, we were looking on our phones, looking for reaction by social media.
Tighter Insider?
No, basically it was, Twitter or X, a little bit of Facebook, some Instagram.
Okay.
I don't know if you picked up on this, but Auburn fans aren't happy.
Well, they're not. I'm glad we got a little while to discuss this this morning, but they're not. I get it. Losing's not fun. The way Auburn has lost is not fun. I guess really no loss is fun. But
the way they have been losing is especially excruciating.
I mean, they're not getting blown out, but Auburn's losing by 7 points or fewer. I think Georgia beat them by 10. Everybody else has been a touchdown or fewer. They've been in the game. They've been right there. Self-inflicted wounds, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
It is. It's kind of head scratching that you could revamp your roster, get quality players on your team, have your best player drop a wide open pass. I mean, I don't know. It is kind of crazy. But there again, I know what the drum beat says, but I ask this question all the time. Who are you going to hire? Who are you going to hire? Are you going to go get Eli Drinkwitz? I know he's a hot name. Lane Kiffin going to leave Ole Miss. There again, I got to give credit where credit is due to the genius. Phillip, talking to some former SEC coaches, says it would be a huge mistake for Auburn to make a change, and I can't argue with him.
Is he talking about former SEC coaches like Sam Pittman or Billy Napier, or is he talking to former SEC coaches?
Is Dude Hennessy still alive?
Yeah, like Charlie McClendon or I don't know. What's it? Jeremy Pruitt. I mean, is he talking to the old guys like he normally does?
I wish you would have specified what era he was talking about, because I thought the same thing.
I pretty much, you and I, his default era is way back when.
But they're getting your roster's depleted, guys jumping ship, whatever. I don't know. I know it's tough, but you're going to start over again?
You're going to lose a ton of people off your roster. You're going to lose some pretty good assistant coaches. I get it.
And Auburn's been known to have meddling boosters and trustees that like to tell the coaches how to coach. This might be a good time. Hey, man, you need to get an offensive coordinator, let him run the show, and you just kind of be the CEO.
Well, it's funny because the two four-year institutions that I attended when I went to college, both of them have a bit of a reputation for meddling boosters who expect to get their way. And that's what finally happened at my other school.
Yeah.
Billy Napier let go at the University of Florida after going 22-23. And the guy before him, or one of the guys before him, I lose track now, was actually like 9 games over 500. No more Sunbelt Billy Snide references from Lee Sterling, that kind of. So he's gone. And there were a lot of people, again, on social media, as we're getting to that time again. And believe me, with this world of the college football playoff or bust, you're going to have a lot of firings. I mean, the turnover is going to be even more pronounced because, he's a good old guy. He'll get us to a bowl game. We'll have a good time and all that kind of stuff. To now, all of the Power Four are saying, man, if we don't get into the playoff, we got to get rid of this guy. So you're going to have, John, you may have 25 different job openings during this cycle. And a lot of the people on social media, and I'm not talking about the Phillips and the Jasons and the Bryans and stuff over at Auburn. I'm talking about national people said, okay, Billy Napier's gone. Now the Hugh Freeze watch is on. Florida has gotten rid of their guy. There were a ton of people yesterday who kept refreshing social media, including some of you Auburn fans, waiting for the shoe to drop yesterday.
Yeah, I'm with you. 9 coaches have been relieved of their duties so far, not even to Halloween yet. And that's a lot, midway point of the season. I was one of those, Barry. I was in the car yesterday. I'm listening to College Sports Sunday.
Yeah.
Those guys, and they had some special, they usually loop in that show that they do early on Sunday morning, kind of a recap, and they broke the airwaves and came on with the Napier story and talked all about that. And I'm thinking, is Hugh Freeze about to pop up? But there again, if you don't hear anything by about 2:00 on a Sunday afternoon, you usually aren't. That's usually about when it happens, when Napier got his pink slip. But I don't know, Barry. I mean, people, I'm sure they ask you. I mean, I don't get a strong feeling one way or the other that Auburn's going to do anything. We talked with Feinbaum about it last week. I said, Paul, if he loses to Missouri on Saturday and loses one more,
is he gone?
Does he coach the Alabama game? Now, this week's big. They're in Fayetteville, Arkansas, had a pretty good game Saturday. They're scratching and clawing. They're losing, but they're hanging around. We know what Vanderbilt's like. They beat LSU over the weekend. Kentucky takes Texas to overtime. I mean, that's who Auburn's got left. But I've also said, Barry, to me, this is the part of Auburn's schedule that maybe they can kind of get it right. I thought it would have started on Saturday.
I did too. But
I think one more is, if they lose another one, and odds are probably they will before the Alabama game. But I can't say one way or the other. I don't have a strong enough feeling one way or another that they're going to do something right now.
Well, Daniel reports, Nathan King. Nathan is really good. He's with AuburnUndercover.com. He posted on X late yesterday that Hugh Freeze is scheduled this week for all media events. So and again, John's exactly right about this. John's been in the media long enough to know if you're doing something like Sunday afternoon after Sunday dinner is the time to do it. You've got your comatose from that fried chicken, after the nice sermon you watch, you're with your family, there's NFL on. That's what we call a news dump day. So Daniel, if it didn't happen yesterday afternoon, I'm with John. It ain't going to happen this week. So, and I hate it that it's gotten to this point because it seems like they're close in a lot of different ways. Auburn loses in overtime to Missouri in Auburn, 23-17. Andy especially Andy. I'm not going to bring it. Andy was disconsolate when that one was over with, just because, it's a stretch, and it's been a pretty long stretch where every one of these losses is excruciating.
It is. I agree. 7 points, except for Georgia, there's 7 or fewer. And you're thinking,
in that Georgia game, they were
one play.
Yeah. So, that part is excruciating. I think of it and again, we had just listened to Auburn loses 23-17 overtime at home to Missouri. Troy, a 37-14 winner at ULM. Alabama.
Was Troy ever behind in that game?
They were not.
Okay, just curious. Curious.
Whew, I was happy about
that. Is that 4 straight?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, it is. Wow, now 5-2, back at home for 2 games starting on Saturday. Alabama beats Tennessee 37-20. It seemed closer than that. Did it not? The key play, obviously, Tennessee's about to go in for a touchdown late in the half. And Savion Brown has the pick 6, 98 yards or whatever. Chris Stewart's losing his mind and all that. And it seemed like Tennessee was, running in quicksand from there on.
Barry, I know Bama fan. I think you've hit it dead on. There was a 17-point win.
Yeah.
Pick 6 before halftime. A 9-point swing on a safety.
Yes.
So there's about your 17 points right there. 16 of them.
That's exactly right.
The running game is non-existent. Offensive line still having issues. Ty Simpson's masking a lot of it. He's playing phenomenal. Thought the defense played better. I think Jam Miller's a great story, but they got to put somebody else back there. That guy's a bowling ball. He has no breakaway speed. He's not elusive. What did Tobias tell us last week they need back there? What kind of running back? Shaky and shifty or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Sweet and salty.
Salty, something like that. Tobias, hit us up with that again today.
Those are peanuts.
That was a great line, but there's no threat with Jam Miller. You're just thinking, he gets the ball again, boom, hits the offensive line, bounces around a little bit, picks up 2, maybe 3.
He gets what he should get, I guess, but there isn't anything breakaway about that. It is a win. It is a win over Tennessee. It is a perfect weekend for Alabama fan. Did Notre Dame lose? No. They beat Southern Cal. Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been a perfect weekend because I'm thinking I started for the first time in a long time thinking of the Auburn loss in terms of Alabama fan.
Oh.
And then was it yesterday or Saturday night? It comes out, a quote on Twitter, on auburnundercover.com. Hugh Freeze, when asked about his job status, says, "Me and my coaching staff stand for everything that Auburn stands for." Which is a great quote. I mean, I really do believe it's factual. And I do, I enjoyed all my time. I spent a lot of time in Auburn. I enjoyed it all. But I was thinking about that. Oh, the Bama fans are going to have a field day with that one. I stand for everything that Auburn stands for. Oh, yeah, mediocrity, burner phone is in there somewhere, cheating or whatever. I'm thinking, I shouldn't have done that, because here's Alabama right at the beginning of the year. Look it up. Auburn actually had a better record than Alabama did.
That's
Auburn
true.
won their first on the road. Alabama lost their first on the road. And you're thinking, okay, here we go. And then things have turned
just teasing them a little bit. Yeah, just teasing them a little bit.
It's painful. Terrible weekend for Auburn fan all the way around.
It was bad. There's no doubt. And it was a great atmosphere in Tuscaloosa. Man, they even played Dixieland Delight twice. They were so happy up there.
And they carried it over the radio broadcast. They did.
And then
it sounds goofy on the radio.
You know my stance. I don't get that at one bit. I don't get it. But I'm maybe not the demographic they're trying to impress.
Maybe.
I was impressed though with the fog of cigar smoke that was hovering over Bryant Denny at about the 2-minute mark. I mean, they showed a shot of it, and I'm thinking, whoa, look at all this smoke in here. I think there were 100,000 people with a cigar in their mouth at that game. Love that tradition.
Which is a dumber tradition. Throwing toilet paper in trees.
Oh, yeah.
Or smoking a cigar. I mean, you got little petite 100-pound sorority girls out there that look like they knew what they were doing, and they're smoking a cigar, and I'm thinking, come on, it's carcinogenic, I mean, it's bad for your health, and it's supposed to be, oh, hey, have you got yours? Take a selfie with me. Come on.
Well, I wish I had I don't know if I can show this on this type of medium, but there's 4 and 5 child at the end of the game. How about that?
Where did they get those?
Oh, yeah. The tradition continues. All right, Tom Luganville is going to join us at the bottom of hour number 1. That's going to be in about 13 minutes. ESPN college football analyst. He'll join us to recap the weekend, to look ahead as well. Not only what happened with Auburn, Alabama, with Troy, but in the SEC as well. Nationally, Barry, a lot of ranked teams took a hit this week. Looking at some of these teams that got beat, going to be a little shakeup in the polls and in the so-called playoff projections.
Plenty. Should be interesting. Does anybody care about the polls? Right? We all just care about the playoff projections, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we've got lots to get to on the program today. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, folks, how often do you think about your roof? Probably not often at all. I know I didn't until I needed a roof replacement. And I call my friends at Roof Life. Whether it's roof inspections, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, Roof Life is there for you. They use the highest quality products, top quality craftsmanship, and if you're like me, your roof can be replaced in one day. So if you're in need of a roof inspection, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, get in touch with my friends at Roof Life today. You can go to roofyourlife.com. That's roofyourlife.com, or dial them up locally at 334-306-6712. That's 334-306-6712.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is excited to participate in our annual Catch Me in Pink campaign, raising money for cutting-edge breast cancer research. We partnered locally with the Joy to Life Foundation and Vera Bradley to help raise significant funds in support of the cause. Each week, we are giving away prizes locally in addition to our national grand prize, a tropical trip for two. To enter, simply snap an USSI of you and a pink-clad Dixie employee and enter it on our website. Dixie will donate money for every photo that's submitted, and you will be entered to win big.
Alrighty, welcome back in. Glad you're with us here. Tom Luganbill in about 10 minutes, ESPN college football analyst. I knew the type of reaction, and Dr. B, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
On our chat line, and I knew I'd get the eye roll. Oh, here we go. But can Alabama continue to win at this pace? Can Ty Simpson carry this team with zero running game?
Dr. B, we flashed this up quickly when John was talking about Jam Miller. He says, great win for Bama. Run game is dismal, though. We're going to need that and run defense to really improve. Can't rely on Simpson forever and the obligatory RTR at the end. He says, I guess we're Bama fans are accustomed to those punishing running backs that defense hate to see get the ball. In my opinion, Jam is an average running back at best, maybe second or third best on that team. Which leads to the question, could Jeremiah Cobb start at running back for Alabama? 111 rushing yards against Missouri. There were a couple of bright spots. Auburn played well enough to win, especially defensively. This is the most frustrating thing to me. Is defensively, they have been balling out. They've been playing not just good, but great on defense, and they're wasting it. The offense can't get out of their way. They can't score in the second half for some reason when the other team makes adjustments, and they cannot keep Jackson Arnold clean. I don't know what the deal is, whether he holds it too much or whether he just doesn't have the confidence to just let it rip or anything. But, man, he got sacked 5 times, and I still think that Auburn leads the nation in number of sacks given up. I'm fixing to look it up. Golly,
Barry, it's not like because I'm hearing rumblings about switching quarterbacks. It'll be interesting to see if that plays out. You mentioned the defense. It's not like teams are scoring, 40 points on Auburn every week. Like I said, they're losing games by a touchdown or less. Georgia was the only one to beat them by more. That was 10. It's there again. Teams aren't scoring 40 on them. It is. It's close. It's nerve-wracking. You're wondering, is it 1 or 2 plays that are making the difference? Yeah, you probably could say so. But a change, I'm there again, as I said in the first segment, I just don't – I don't get the feel that that's going to happen.
Auburn, golly, you have to go to the load more to get – yeah, Auburn is last in the nation in sacks allowed. They have given up 27 sacks. That is all alone in 134th place.
Wow.
27.
Barry, if they hadn't played such tough competition, maybe they wouldn't be at that position.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's all about who you're playing.
So who had a good weekend? Bama fan had a good weekend. LSU fan did not have a good weekend. Vanderbilt fan had a great weekend.
I actually listened to a lot of that game. I was traveling Saturday about that time, and I know it was the Vanderbilt radio broadcast. Wasn't familiar with the guys that were doing the game.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
But boy, were they excited, and they should be.
Yeah, you talk about who's on the hot seat right now. Hugh Freeze is. Billy Napier no longer is. Is Brian Kelly?
Yeah, that's not working.
I mean, they were ranked. LSU was ranked in that game.
Yeah.
You know,
but
they have
underdog.
They
were
have
a dog.
Yeah, they had a ranking. LSU came into that game number 10. They were a top 10 team.
Yep.
They lose at Vanderbilt by 7, give up 31, and people are wanting to fire the coach for one loss as a top 10 team. That's LSU is absolutely the best example of the college football playoff age we live in. If you ain't making it to the playoff, I don't care if you're top 10.
Exactly.
I don't care if you come out there, you know, and you know, are world beaters. You don't make the playoff, we're getting rid of you.
You know, it wouldn't surprise
You're going to have more and more of a coaching carousel.
Yeah, not predicting it, but it wouldn't surprise me if LSU beats A&M Saturday night down in Baton Rouge.
Oh.
Just to get the heat off of Kelly a little while. There again, not predicting. It just wouldn't shock me if that happened, even though LSU's quarterback play is not
what it should be.
It is not very good.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, losing to Vandy, and of course, you know, heck, Vandy's projected as a playoff team. College game day in Nashville this week, hosting Missouri. Missouri with one loss, Vandy with one loss. Both those teams lost to the same team. They both lost to Alabama.
And how do you feel being Mississippi State fan? I'll give you a history lesson from 2 years ago when 3 years ago, when Jimbo Fisher took his Texas A&M team into a game against Mississippi State and won it like 42-10 or 52-10 or something like that. And he got fired right after the game.
Yesterday State is the culprit of Fisher and Billy Napier. They both win the game against State, but they get fired the next day.
Florida wins at home against Mississippi State. Hey, woo, you're done on Sunday. It's the world we live in there.
It is. And then, as I mentioned, a couple of teams in the top. Miami loses on Friday night to Louisville.
Overrated.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. A couple of other losses over the weekend as well in the top 20, top 15. So things certainly kind of shaking out. There's no doubt, but a lot of football still left. I hate to use that analogy, but certainly a lot of football still left. And Barry, this is the game that I mentioned back in the summer. You got a 5-game stretch, meat of your schedule, coming off the third Saturday in October, and then you got to just ease on over to Columbia, South Carolina, a place you don't go very often. Can't remember the last time Alabama played over there.
Oh, I sure can. Stephen Garcia, 24/7. Alabama loses. Alshon Jeffrey had a – not that I'm
Was that really the last time? Man, that was like the 2010 season, I think.
We don't like to go back and refer to things as far back as the 2010 season. That's way too far back to command our attention. 2010, that's way too long.
And granted, South Carolina did not even show up last week in their game against Oklahoma. But this is one of the you got to watch out. Got to watch out game. Could fall flat. Kind of just, can't go through the paces Saturday afternoon in Columbia.
Well, when we come back, you can't just go through the paces with Tom Luganbill. We got to break down, get into our stance, and get ready because it's coming. Tom Luganbill joins us in just a moment on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore and McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. 1 additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them, to fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150s and Lightnings, each 16 grand off, with 2.9% on F-150 or 0% on Lightning. And Super Duties, 12 grand off or 0%.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Broncos and Explorers, each $10,000 off, with 2.9% on Explorer. Plus, Mach-E's at 11 grand off or 0% for 75 months.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
All righty, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you are with us here today. And as we do each and every Monday, we bring in our friend Tom Luganbill, ESPN college football analyst. Monday with Lugs. How you doing, Tom?
Uh-oh.
There we go. Oh,
hey.
There we go. Unmuted. I was coming in about 5 minutes early because I believe that if you're not early, you're late. So I always watch you guys and listen into your conversation. And I always in the background to try to check out all your little goodies and what you have back there. And I'm starting to wonder, are you guys drinking Bud Light every morning? I mean, what is going on here?
There's a lot of Auburn fans who are right now, to be sure.
No. Oh, right now Auburn's drinking Old Milwaukee Light. Right now Auburn's drinking Olympia. Right now they're drinking Old Style.
Old Style. Falstaff. How about that?
Falstaff. Yes.
You can tell Tom is a coach's son with the old, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. That's a mindset. That's a life.
So here's one for you. Here's a little tip. I used to do this when I was in coaching. And I got this from a guy that coached for John McKay for 16 years. And he said, we would always start our meetings at if the meeting was supposed to be 8 a.m., the meeting started at 8:02. If the meeting was supposed to be at 7:30, we started it at 7:28. Because most people in their minds, when you just say, okay, 8 o'clock meeting, one ear and out the other. But when you give that quirky number, they all seem to go, wait, what? Huh? And then it starts to register and it gets implanted. And I'm not joking around. The moment I went to that, I never had anybody late.
You know, it's kind of like the speed limit in Oxford, Mississippi. It's 18 miles per hour.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
All right. First of all, and I'm leading up to something. What went wrong with Billy Napier at Florida, Tom?
Listen, I'm becoming more and more convinced of this as we watch the development of this program over the last 15 years. You have to start asking yourself what's wrong internally. Because, towards the end of his career, Urban Meyer didn't start taking stupid pills, right? Will Muschamp didn't leave an unbelievably successful career as a high-profile assistant and a coordinator with all of Nick Saban's principles, and then all of a sudden forget how to coach. Dan Mullen didn't go from one of the greatest program-building accomplishments of the last 25 years in college football to all of a sudden, again, swallowing stupid pills. Billy Napier didn't either. And so you have to wonder what is going on with that university from an athletic administration standpoint. Is the support that we quote unquote think is there actually there? What is their financial resources that are completely and utterly only devoted to football? Are they where they should be? I just think there's a lot of questions that you have to ask there that don't have a lot to do with coaching, because you've had a lot of really good coaches struggle to sustain any level of success over a 3 to 5 to 6 year period.
Well, again, I asked that question. It's a leading question because, the media, after the announcement was made that he was relieved yesterday, the media, to use Paul Simon's lyrics, turned their lonely eyes to Auburn. How much different is the situation that Hugh Freeze is facing to the one that ultimately cooked Billy Napier?
Oh, I mean, you could almost argue that it's darn near identical, right? Yeah. And with similar expectations, with similar fan support and frustration across the board. I think the one thing, and I think Hugh Freeze handled this well on Saturday night, and he's right, is at the end of the day, we got to win games, right? But he is right in what he did say in relationship to they are better as a team and as a roster than they were when they got there, meaning they're more talented. And he's right. I totally agree with him. There's 125 schools out there right now that would trade their defense for Auburn's defense. There's 125 schools out there that would trade their defense for Florida's defense. And so whatever it is that's preventing those close calls from turning into wins, if everybody had the answer to that, you'd win one possession games. But I do think it's very similar. But this is the nature of the profession, right, guys? I mean, it's the most bottom line business in the world. It is a what have you done for me lately business. There's two kinds of coaches in the profession, right? You guys have heard this. Ones that have been fired and ones that will be. That's it. Those are the only two coaches in the profession.
I know Auburn fans are frustrated, Lugs. And I don't know if this makes it any better, but, it's not like they're getting blown out. They're losing games by a touchdown or less. Georgia's the only team that beat them by more. I think it was a 10-point win. Mm-hmm. Maybe a play here or there. Auburn's in a different position. It's got to be maddening. And of course, the first reaction is we got to make a move. We got to do something different. Sure. I'm not sold on that. I don't get the feeling they're going to do that as of right now. Maybe, I don't know, one more loss might send them over the ledge. But I always ask the question, who are you going to hire? What kind of changes are you going to make? Are you ready for your roster to just leave, basically?
Yeah.
I don't think they want that.
No, and I agree with you. And listen, I have gotten to the point with Auburn almost each and every week where and I'm not a big stat guy, but I am a big team stat guy. And I start to go in there and go, okay, where were they on third down? How many penalties did they have? How many times did they turn the ball over? This was actually their cleanest game of the season. All right. When you look at those factors and you talk about those close losses, it's one thing to take a team on the field and be outmanned and get your butt kicked, right? Mm-hmm. That hasn't happened with Auburn for the vast majority of the season. What's happened with Auburn is they've kicked their own butt. It's hard enough to beat somebody else when you can't get out of your own way. And I didn't think Missouri played overly well either. I mean, that was almost a game where both teams looked like it's like you wanted to ask the side, do you guys want to win this? Who wants to win this game? Who is it? And so, but I agree because I think that there is progress there. Now, how do you? I use the 2022 season. I believe that was the season where TCU played for the national championship, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Go back and look at that season. Every single game that TCU played that was a one possession or overtime game, they won. The very next year, they lost all of them. I was having a conversation with Mark Richt about this, and he said that's the one thing that most outsiders looking in, people don't understand, like the margin of error in a one possession game is so razor thin, right? And if you happen to catch a season where you turn the page and you win them, it's almost impossible to duplicate that the next year. It's kind of like the whole turnover chain gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Turnovers do not, that doesn't carry over. It's great in the moment and this and that, but if you have one of those, I remember SC a couple of years ago, they were plus 22 in turnover margin. That might happen one time in 15 years. So it's not like you're going to go do that the next year. I mean, one possession games are very, very similar, and that seems to be what's happening with Auburn right now.
This is also maddening to Auburn fans who love their team and support their team and put in for the resources and the NIL and the facilities and stuff like that. And they're seeing Georgia Tech have a great year, Indiana have a great year, Vanderbilt having a great year. And by gosh, they don't care about it as much as we do. How are they getting it done and we're not?
By the way, all of those teams that you just mentioned have been winning a bunch of one possession games.
Yeah.
So Georgia Tech should have lost to Wake Forest. Okay. Should have lost to Wake Forest. Yeah. Duke did everything they could to lose that game the other day, and we're successful in doing it. because Georgia Tech, I don't know if you watched the first half of that game, but Duke went up and down the field on them. It should have been 17-0, but it wasn't, right? And so that's what happens. And it's so hard to put your finger on the why. Like you can sit there and go through and dissect every single little play as these coaches do, and you see a mental error here or a technical error there, this and that, and it might have a big overarching magnified impact on the game, and then other plays don't have that big of an impact on the game. So it's maddening.
I know based on today, they would be a playoff team. But at the end of the regular season, Tom, is Vanderbilt going to be a college football playoff team?
Could very well be. I think they're one of those teams. First of all, have you guys seen them in person at all? Like, have you ever physically been able to look at them?
Have not.
I've not.
Okay. So generally in the past, if you were ever on the sideline of a game, this and that, you can look at the two teams and go, that team is going to beat that team by about 3 touchdowns, right? Just on body types alone. You look at them, you're like, That's not what Vanderbilt looks like anymore. That was Vanderbilt for 25. The eye test is real with them.
I totally agree. That was one of the first comments I made, Tom, after Vanderbilt played Alabama a couple of weeks ago. We come on Monday. I said, Barry, that's an SEC football team. They look like it. They play like it. They're physical.
Exactly.
They're big. Never seen a Vanderbilt team look like that.
All of that. And so to answer your question, yeah, that's why they could be, because their best players are closest to the football, right? Your offensive front, your defensive front, and your quarterback. I was stunned the other day, guys. I don't know about you. I was stunned at their ability to run the football in LSU. I did not see that coming. I thought if there was an area where LSU could really force Vanderbilt to have to be quarterback centric, it was the ability to stop the run. And instead, Vanderbilt's ability to run the football opened up everything else. It was pretty impressive. I didn't see that coming. I think they're pretty good, man. And you know, that's not a team, and LSU's got their issues and they're struggling right now, particularly in the offensive line. But that's not a team full of chumps that Vanderbilt just beat.
I remember at the end of week 1 of the season, the national media, with all of their collective wisdom, the takeaway from Tallahassee was that Florida State is really, really good, and Alabama is average at best. Neither one of those is true, is it, Tom?
So, and I'm going to say 99.9% sure, because I bring this up all the time. So I guarantee you I brought this up after that weekend, and it's the 2014 season. You guys remember what I'm going to say? When Virginia Tech went up to the Horseshoe in week 2 and hammered Ohio State. It was a no contest, guys. The next week, I had Virginia Tech in a game where they were in Blacksburg against ECU, and guess what? They lost to East Carolina. Fast forward 15 weeks, and Ohio State wins the national championship on their 3rd quarterback. And that is why the knee-jerk reactions that we have off of week 1 cannot be counted on. And you've also heard me say this: who you play, when you play, where you play matters. So imagine if Alabama played Florida State this week. It's a no contest.
Sure, a little bit different. Yeah, no doubt. And I really haven't followed Florida State closely since that week 1 loss by Alabama. But what's been their problem? They look like world beaters in week 1, and they can't get out of their own way now.
They just lost to a bad Stanford team.
You just hit it. They are doing quote unquote 2024 things, the things that led them to being 2-10. They jump off sides at inopportune times. They have a false start on a field goal in which the kicker kicks it. He makes it. No, 5. Let's back him up 5. He misses it.
Yeah.
Like, it's those types of things, and it's one after another. But, guys, you cannot lose to Stanford.
No.
And I'm sorry. Stanford has improved. They are.
Backup quarterback.
A backup quarterback, an interim head coach, a program that to this point has shown zero interest in having football be the front porch of the university. And you go out there, there's no crowd, there's no energy, there's no environment, and you lose to that team. I mean, is that not equivalent to what just happened with Penn State?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
on the other side of things, what's the biggest thing that Alabama has figured out or accentuated or is riding right now to this winning streak?
The quarterback is so freaking good, I can't even put it into words. I mean, that's the number one thing I take away is the level of efficiency, ability to process, and overall accuracy of that quarterback is so good that it erases other things. So what are some of those other things? Right now, Alabama's not like running the ball at a high clip. They're attempting to run the ball. Okay, I think they almost had 30 rush attempts the other day, but they're not churning out yardage. But what they're not doing is they're not having a lot of plays resolve in negative yardage. So the 1 yard run, the 6 yard run, the 4 yard run, that starts to add up as long as you're not behind the chains when the quarterback is playing out of his mind. The other thing too is you look at them on defense. Have you noticed that they always give up like this massive chunk run play? Like it's a couple times a game. They do it every game.
Yeah.
And you sit there and say, man, how are they withstanding this? Well, okay, well, if that happens 1 to 2 to 3 times a game, and the rest of it's tough sledding, and when the offense has the ball, they have a 9-play drive, a 10-play drive, an 11-play drive. All of a sudden, those 2 to 3 big runs don't mean anything, right? Especially when the offense is hitting at a clip that they're hitting at where you're getting touchdowns, not field goals. It buys you a little bit of wiggle room on the defensive side of the football.
It does. And in the running game, Tom, as you can imagine, that's what Bama fans are focusing on. You know, we're getting killed there.
We got to pick out all the negative. We can't focus on anything positive.
Yeah. Well, oh, yeah. You know how they are. Heck yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I got a list every week of stuff that we have to highlight on from a negative standpoint. But I just wonder how you fix that. I mean, past the midway point, should that not already be corrected, or is this just the way they're going to play and you got to live with it? And run game's going to be, you know, a little down, but Ty Simpson's just going to have to pick up the slack.
Yeah, I think so. But I also believe that, you know, you go back two weeks ago, the game before the Vanderbilt game, and you look at the difference Jam Miller made in that game. So I wouldn't count out the Alabama run game just yet, because there's going to come some moments where they're going to be, I mean, guys, they've played 4 straight ranked teams.
Yeah.
At some point or another, they're going to start lining up against some people that they're just flat out better than. And you can maybe start to work the run game there, get better in the run game there, have an emphasis on it. But, I mean, there's a lot of teams against the teams that they're playing that wouldn't just go out there and run rush shot over people.
So let me ask you this, because all summer long, Tom, I circled South Carolina. I said, Bama fan, you better get ready. Coming off a 5-game stretch. I mean, it's a 5-game stretch right in the heart of the schedule. Coming off Tennessee, you got to go to Columbia. Watch out. That could be one that could trip you up. Bama, of course, playing great. South Carolina's not. Well, what is going on over there? I was expecting so much more out of this Gamecock team this year.
The schedule's crushed them. They play the game very similar to how Auburn has played the game, right? They don't help themselves. They haven't been great in the offensive line. Lenora Sellers has been really streaky, and I think that's the thing is you can have things going wrong or things not being ideal, but if that position isn't playing at a high level, it's hard to overcome the other stuff. You can mask it when that guy's playing lights out. Quite honestly, he just hasn't. I don't know if they're in that phase where you're in a program building phase, and one of the things that you've got to be able to capture is the ability to handle success, handle an offseason of accolades, and then go out there and perform the way people are expecting you to. I'm not so sure that this team was in a position yet to be able to handle that. Like, there was so much talk about South Carolina this past offseason being really good. And then sometimes you need to be able to go out and prove that to prove your worth. And it's not an easy hurdle to get over. And I go back. I think that they've had some real issues in the offensive line, and they've been heavily penalized and a lot of pre-snap penalties. some of the same things we've talked about with Auburn, where you're second and 11, you're second and 15, you're third and 12. You're never playing in any type of ahead of the count, comfort. But it's been listen, the league as a whole, I mean, you just kind of feel like anybody's in danger at any given time. I mean, there were 5 one-possession games in the SEC alone this weekend. In the SEC, I mean, you better buckle your chin strap every week. And when you're in games like that, it isn't necessarily the play that you make. It's avoiding the mistake.
Yeah.
The mistake becomes catastrophic.
Which is what swung the Alabama-Tennessee game.
Oh, yeah. Probably, to me, the most head-scratching one-possession game was in Lexington. I mean, what's going on with that?
Did you see the statistical numbers in that thing?
Ooh, I'm on it. Hang on. What have you got? What jumps out at you?
Pull the total yards up.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, overtime, Texas beats Kentucky 16-13. Total offense numbers. Hang on, it's pulling up right here. For Kentucky, total. Well, let's go. For Texas, total offense 179 yards.
Yes. Now look at Kentucky's
395.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
That's not a typo.
I
did not see that. Me either.
They ran 86 plays and Texas ran 55.
Yes.
How did they lose that game?
I know. It's like Miami. It's like Miami on Friday night against Louisville.
Kentucky had 25 first downs. Texas had 8.
I know.
Holy smokes.
Man, I did not know that.
What a game.
No kidding. Where are you going to be this week, Lugs?
Might not have a very good one. I got Georgia State and South Alabama.
I was wondering about
that. On Thursday night in Atlanta. Yeah. A little Sun Belt off the radar game for us. But I will say this. Both teams sitting at 1-6. I don't think either of those teams thought they would be 1-6. I think both of those teams thought that they were going to kind of make a leap, right? And I know South Alabama and Georgia State got athletes, but they have not played good football.
They have not. They are don't mean to but they're a combined 1-12. You've got your work cut out for
you. Have you seen South Alabama yet?
Oh yeah, I have. I called the game Troy versus South Alabama in Troy. Yeah. Went to overtime.
Give me a couple of nuggets.
Well, South Alabama, I don't think they're very tough. I mean, mentally tough. I do think there's a question in terms of who's calling plays. Is it Paul Petrino, the coordinator, or is it Major Applewhite? I think Major's kind of snatched that play sheet away from him.
Here we go.
And they're
Power
not very good on defense. Yeah. Some internal stuff for sure.
Yeah. Hey, we'll be watching nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Though. Yeah, no doubt.
Somebody will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Count on us. Appreciate you, Tom.
Hey, Tom, as always, we appreciate it as always, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
We'll talk next week. Tom Luganbill, brought to you by our good friends at River Bank and Trust, with locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Whether it's personal or business banking, the professionals at River Bank and Trust are there for you. Take it from me. I'm a River Bank customer, and I couldn't be happier. River Bank and Trust.
When we come back, we're going to get you to the top of the hour. In the next hour, next live hour, a recap of the Phantom.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe our daily dog. And we are going to go over. So get ready, Bob. Get ready, Chris the Bammer. We are going to go over a little bit of the Major League Baseball playoff. Don't go. It'll only be for a little bit.
Speaking of Bob from Pike Road, he has kind of changed his tune on Kalen DeBoer. Earlier today on the River Region Straw chat line, Bob chimes in and pretty much says, hey, after week 1, I was done with him, but he has changed his tune. We'll share that with you when we come back as well.
That's a healthy man.
Yes, it is.
I like it very much. It's Longshore McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
All right, welcome back in. About 4 minutes to the top of the hour here on this Monday with Longshore and McKnight. Glad you are with us. A lot of great chats on our River Region Straw chat line. Dr. B's chimed in multiple times today. Appreciate Dr. B getting in. Tobias has already chimed in as well from the desert.
This warmed my heart.
Okay.
John, I mean, it's like a picture somebody shows you of a little child petting a puppy. Bob from Pike Road.
Yeah, there he is.
Early this morning, right as we went on the air, it was important to him that everybody knew his stance from the start of the show. After the debacle in Tallahassee, I was confident DeBoer was not the guy. What he has done since is amazing. I was wrong about DeBoer. As a Bama fan, at the game Saturday, Bama is on a track to number 19. God bless you, Bob. This is what I love. Again, I love Bob from Pike Road. I respect his football, but this is what I love. You go from he sucks, he's not the man, he's got to go, to national championship. For Bob, there ain't no middle ground. With a little bit of luck, we might make the SEC championship game, but we might, but we have some really no, it ain't that. It's either my coach is terrible, he's got to go, we got to get somebody else, or Natty on the way. Mark it down, boys. Gosh, I love Bama fans.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah,
love
them. I haven't really had a lot of time to dive into Tighter Insider since Saturday's game, so I'm not real sure what the vibe is there on TI. Might do that later today on the program.
I know that they are, if they are like John, who brings in a legal pad after a 17-point win over which one is Tennessee? It's not the biggest rival, but it's the biggest game or something like that. Something.
Let me think. I guess it's the biggest game. Yeah.
So
you get,
you get things like, they've got some deficiencies, and they've got a quarter. Tom Luganbill says Ty Simpson is so freaking good that he masks a lot of deficiencies. Where did you hear that first? Huh? Now, the questions are, it's like John Dent, Bama Pride says, in today's football, how many great running teams are there? the last so many years, we've seen a heavy emphasis almost exclusively on teams being pass happy. I'll tell you this. The ones, and I looked it up during the break, the ones who were running the ball well, and I wrote it down, and of course I dropped it.
Watch your head.
Yeah, I don't want to bang into the microphone. Yeah. The teams that are running it real well are the same teams. It's Navy at the top and Army and stuff like that. Alabama is in terms of rushing per game, number 103.
No, that's not good enough.
In terms of Bama is
not good enough.
Geez, they played 7 games. They've rushed for 8 touchdowns. That is also
how many of those Ty Simpson scored? I know a few.
Yeah, no, a few.
Yeah,
out of those 8 touchdowns they have scored on the ground in 7 games. That also puts them at number 103 in the country. Now, those of you who proclaim to be the archetypes and the engineers of these national championships, well, they just did what I told them to. You always believe in a good defense and run the ball, right? Well, they ain't running the ball well. And the numbers support that. And they need to do a better job. I don't know that you can emphasize it more, John. I just don't think they have that big
I'm with you.
Stud running back.
Now, I did like, Daniel Hill had some moments. A.K. Deers had some moments. Jam Miller, I know what I'm getting. It's the same thing every time he touches the ball. Kind of I'm expecting to hear Chris Berman in the background going, boof, boof, boof. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He stumbles, he bumbles, he goes for 5 yards. That's what I'm getting out of him. Not the shifty, shaky that Tobias was telling us about last week. Got to have somebody like that.
So that's a good point, John. John Dent about that. Now, it's a little bit unfair, Tobias. I think that's a little bit below the belt there. Jam Miller can make Stevie Wonder miss. That's not.
That's a good one, Tobias.
Will win the Natty this season, but DeBoer should be in Coach of the Year consideration for getting the team off the mat after week 1. Should he?
We'll see how the rest of the season
was he the one? Was he responsible? Because you guys sure thought he was for the team being on the mat in week 1.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say, hey, you did a great job after that opening loss. Yeah, but what about that opening loss?
It's a head scratcher. I mean, Gus has got the voodoo out when it comes to Alabama. He knows the secret.
I thought about this, and we talked about this quite energetically in the Troy radio car.
Yeah,
coming back from Monroe, Louisiana, after all of the games. The total in the Alabama-Tennessee game, what did we have? Was it like 58 or something?
I thought it was 59, but who
59.
Knows? Yeah.
Alabama and Tennessee together score 57. Now, what is this from Tobias? I bet the Phantom was happy that the refs let the clock run out instead of stopping the clock to check the spot. How do they know?
Don't need to check that spot. Spot's good.
Just let it, That's one of the few times, John on the golf course, he's going to make you putt out. No, I don't think that one's in the leather. Let you go ahead and, this one, John's like, come on.
Yeah, spot's great. Deal. Good. Yeah. They're lighting up cigars. We ain't got time for this. Come on.
Check the spot.
Yeah, check the spot. Now, Barry, I don't know. Somebody sent me this yesterday, and I want to say it's the second week in a row he's had a little clip about it. And I don't know what Todd McShay's doing with his life now. I know he's not part of ESPN. I think he had some health issues at one time. Maybe he still does. His face looks a little fat. I will say that when I saw this clip.
Easy.
But he obviously knows football, college football, the NFL draft, the mechanics of the position of quarterback. And he went on this clip that somebody sent me just raving about how advanced Ty Simpson is as a college quarterback. The way that he just can see defenses, check into the right play, get his offensive lineman set, his footwork, his body movements. I mean, just raving about how good of a player Ty Simpson is.
Now,
throws a great ball. I'll give him that too. He throws a really good, pretty football. But there again, I think it goes back to the masking of some of the other deficiencies Alabama has on offense.
If you want to follow him on Twitter, and he still has some valuable stuff, it's Todd McShay at McShay13. And he has something called the McShay Report, which he dropped yesterday. Well, after the games on Saturday. And, of course, on his Week 8 takeaways in the McShay Report, he's got a big picture, Ty Simpson on the field after the game, big cigar sticking at it. Is that really? It ain't lit. You know, somebody asked him in the post-game interview, hey, are you going to smoke the cigar or something like that? And I don't think Ty is going to be a smoker. He's pretty much a straight arrow.
Mm-hmm.
But, yep, there he is. I don't think I've seen a picture. My buddy Russell, a couple of friends of mine that were at the game. Did anybody take a picture at all in that game without a cigar in your mouth? Maybe some little babies or something like that? Good God.
Cigar sales were through the roof last week, I understand. And boy, there was a lot of smoke in that stadium at the end of the game, as I mentioned. But man, McShay's just extremely high.
Should be.
Ty Simpson's and his mechanics and whatnot. And hey, I mean, kind of hard to argue. I mean, the guy has played incredibly well. It kind of gets me to thinking, Barry,
Ooh, tongue pop.
You know, what happened to Ty Simpson last year? Did he just miraculously in the last 12 months become this incredible quarterback? Why didn't they play him last year?
Knew it. Jalen Milroe has become the favorite whipping person. The dog everybody likes to kick.
Yeah.
Did he not have the 4th and 31? Did he not lead Alabama into a 4-team college football playoff? You would think that guy was top liver.
Would they have been in a position to have to attempt a 4th and 31 if somebody else was quarterbacking for that game? Or would somebody else have dropped the snap in the Rose or not been able to pick the snap up in the Rose Bowl against Michigan?
All of you guys, now all of you guys are saying, that Keelan Russell, that guy's special. Watch out for him. Now, all of a sudden, if Alabama falls short and Keelan Russell, who I hope has a great career, people will say, Ty was just too nice. He was too much of a straight arrow. You need, give me a Freddie Kitchens any day.
Well,
you guys are always going to find fault with any, and I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about you Bama fans out there, are always going to find fault if a quarterback, if he doesn't bring home the Crystal Trophy. Yeah, that guy.
I'm not sure how nice he is based on some comments from his offensive lineman last week about a little player-only meeting he had with him, and allegedly was, as they said, chewing ass. Is what the lineman said, that Ty was not real happy with some of their performance and let them know.
Good golly, guys. Come on. Let's get our act together. Can you stop?
How about this? Speaking of nice, though, Barry, I did see that Ty made some comment. It's not verbatim, but I'm close. Something, thank goodness for NIL, because I was able to charter a plane for my father to come to the game tonight. How about that? Way to go, Ty. Good for you.
What?
Yeah. His father's a coach up in North Tennessee, I believe.
Tennessee, at UT Martin.
UT Martin, and I guess they had a game or something and because his dad had his UT Martin visor on at the Bama game. And he's sitting there in the stands, and they're showing it. I think Ty's brother's sitting there with him. But story goes, Ty chartered a plane to get his father.
His dad is look it up, UT Martin. It is a Division I football program. And before everybody starts getting on the chat line, they're 1AA, they're FC. I know. But it is a Division I football program, and he's a coach. And his son, who is playing college football, is the one who can afford. Ty Simpson's making more than his dad right now in football?
Probably.
Is that not bleeped up? Does anybody think that that's crazy?
Well, I'm just waiting for it to trickle down to sports media members. When's that going to happen?
Oh, my God.
But I did. Speaking of that chartered planes, Barry, it's amazing all this stuff that pops up on my phone. I think somebody's been playing with my phone. But anyway, like again last night, Chris Fowler does some little thing on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And it's after his game that he calls.
Right.
And he's usually traveling to the next spot. And it's called maybe recapping a cocktail or something. I don't know. I don't even know if he drinks. I think it might be. But anyway, he is on a private jet at 35,000 feet with his phone, looking at it, doing this little blurb that he recaps college football of what he saw and his opinions, flying from Athens, Georgia, to Seattle, Washington to do Monday night tonight, Houston at Seattle. More on that later. But I'm thinking, could he not fly commercially to Seattle? I mean, they are flying him privately on Saturday night from Athens to Seattle, probably a 4.5 hour flight, if not longer.
Uh-huh.
And he's just doing a little recap on his phone at 35,000 feet. Oh, wow. Now that's the life. That's pretty sweet.
The only better life out there is Kirk Herbstreit's dog. Because, I mean, they fly that dog with Kirk everywhere he goes, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it.
I don't know who else was on the plane with Fowler. I'm sure somebody was, but the pilots, obviously. Yeah. But I don't know who else was, but I thought, man, that's a pretty sweet gig.
It is another night where there are 2 NFL games on Monday Night Football, which, again, Longshore continues to get his way. Buccaneers at the Lions at 6. How was that? The Buccaneers are having a great year. They're 5-1. Baker Mayfield is the NFL MVP front runner, but Detroit's favored by 6 in that game.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Yeah, just a minute.
Sorry.
Because we got Houston at Seattle tonight as well.
That's the late game. This is if you're gonna do it this way. I'm not a big fan of 2 games on Monday night, but if you're gonna do it this way. Buccaneers Lions at 6 on ABC. Texans and the Seahawks from Seattle at 9 on ESPN.
Well, I'm with you. I don't know if there's enough West Coast. I mean, you got Seattle, the 2 LA teams, San Francisco, and that's it. Maybe Arizona's in that time slot. Maybe they Pacific or Mountain. I think they're Pacific. So you don't have a lot of teams to draw from to have that late game, but I'm with you. I would have a West Coast game almost every week if you could as a part of that doubleheader, so you don't have 2 East Coast teams playing within 15 minutes of each other.
Yeah, but the big problem there is pointed out by Bill from Baltimore. You also have Game 7 of the American League Championship Series. Toronto, a big winner yesterday at home, 6-2. They play tonight to see who will go to the World Series to face the Dodgers. That's on Fox. And that begins at 7 o'clock.
So once again, John from Wetumpka, I've been waiting. We got any television ratings? Because the college football ratings are going to come out on Wednesday. And when Alabama, Tennessee doubles, maybe triples these baseball ratings, I'm looking for a detailed explanation of why America's game, nobody's watching it.
Nobody's watching it.
Nobody's watching it.
Again, with the imaginary ratings that John. Somebody show it to me then. Yeah.
Right. Well, John, you gave me the baseball ratings a week or so ago. We gave you the college football ratings. We know what the NFL ratings are going to be. They're through the roof. We know that. But I'll be interested to see how that plays out.
A little bit of a stretch to nobody's watching. All right, so the ratings are better. Well, obviously, nobody is tuning into these games. I think that's a little bit of hyperbole, if you ask me.
Well, I guess they are technically better, I guess. Are they in the top 100 of all viewed sporting events on television in a 365-day period? No, they're not, but they're better, I guess. Yeah.
There's something we'll get to.
Hey, how's that rash? Well, it's only covering 40% of my body now. Oh,
that's
okay,
like the old, It's like the old Johnny Carson bit where he was talking about Preparation H. He used to have a commercial. Preparation H helps shrink swelling of hemorrhoidal tissues by this much. And Carson said, I'm telling you, people, Preparation H, this much to this much, that ain't much of a solution, you know? It's like, the ratings, they're better.
Yeah.
Better from what? I'm going to do this a little bit later on to kind of take over John's point there. For those of you people who say, I can't do it. I can't do college football anymore. I've lost my fandom. All of this NIL, all of this transfer portal, all of us old fogies, we just don't like it anymore. Look, the ratings are like 20% higher in college football than they have ever been. So,
but I'm with you. But is it across the board, or is it just a handful of teams that are generating these higher ratings?
Considering that ESPN and ABC and Fox and everybody, they're only going to televise a handful of teams to start with, I would have to say it is a handful of teams because you're getting Texas and you're getting Georgia and you're getting Alabama and you're getting Ohio State. You ain't getting Kansas State, and you're not getting a bunch of Wake Forest. So, yeah, it is just a select group of teams.
I'm trying to find it's Clemson on Saturday. I see they're getting beat by SMU. I'm thinking, where do I find this game? It's on the ACC network. I'm scrolling through. I thought, I ain't got time for ACC network. So, there again, kind of my drum beat from years ago, big boy conference, big boy programs. That's what these networks want. That's where those ratings are coming from. Is it fair? Is it fair for the overall good of college football?
No. Who cares about them, those peons?
Who asks questions like that?
But it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, Well, we only want to have the big teams for the ratings.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't play anybody else on your television, you're never going to grow the audience for the other teams. UCLA and Indiana. UCLA is one of the best stories lately that's out there. Indiana, I'm a huge Hoosiers fan. Kurt Signetti, give me some more of that. The nation's like,
I don't know what the ratings. I don't know what the ratings were for the Cowboy game yesterday. I think they put 40 something on the board. I bet those ratings are through the roof. I bet people. Oh, look at this! The Cowboys are back. They're great. Not gonna happen. So, this way. I thought it was interesting. Barry, Bama at South Carolina, 2:30. Is that not worthy of an SEC network kick at 11 or? One of these 3:15 kicks or something.
And so later on, whenever we do split off into John's big boy conference, he'll say, I was right all along. No, it's because they only promoted about 12 or 14 teams anyway. No wonder they got 12 or 14 teams that command all the audience because that's all they're being fed. Drives me crazy.
I wonder that when I did see the TV broad this week, I'm thinking, is McElroy doing the Bama game again? I mean, are we getting Joe Test this week? Because I think Fowler, they'll probably be down in Baton Rouge, I would think, unless it's a bigger. Well, they'll probably do A&M and LSU, I would guess. It's just a 6:30 game, but I don't know. I just wonder if they're going to rotate and flip these announcing groups up a little bit more. Nothing against McElroy and Sean McDonough, but
has McElroy has he left the Alabama state lines to do a game anytime recently? I mean, he's done a couple of. Anyway, when we come back, the Phantom.
Let's do it.
I'm going to recap that in a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Okay, welcome back in. About 20 minutes past the hour on this beautiful Monday. Nice cool temperatures out there. Fall finally has arrived. Glad to to experience some of that. All right, Phantoms weekend recap. Let's go with Friday's Daily Dog.
All right.
Might have forgotten about that one. We certainly didn't. As the Golden Gophers of Minnesota welcomed in the Cornhuskers of Nebraska as a 7.5-point home dog. What the heck? And look at they rowing the boat or holding the row, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, kicking the tires something. I can't remember.
24-6 win as a 7.5-point underdog. You go, Minnesota.
Phantom could not wait to get that one out. Minnesota 24-6.
About that.
As a 7-point dog. What were they? Minnesota's 5-2.
I know it.
It's their best year since beating Auburn in a bowl game, which
in Nashville, I believe it was.
I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah. So go, you way to go, Minnesota. Good job for the Daily Dog. Another winning weekend with the dog. A winning week, actually. With the Daily Dog. So let's start it off again this week. Let's start off with a winner on Monday. I know we got some Major League Baseball, big game 7 tonight.
Yeah,
big. In the American League. Toronto is taking care of some business coming over to the States, playing in Seattle. But we're not going baseball tonight.
Oh, okay. All right.
You got a Monday night doubleheader. I mentioned the last game is Houston at Seattle. Ought to be a good one. But the first game, Barry, Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers at Detroit. And Detroit's good football team.
They
probably should have been in the Super Bowl. But are they 6.5 points better than Baker Mayfield, who a lot of people think is going to be the NFL MVP?
He's been balling out. Buccaneers are 5-1.
Yeah.
Is the home field, Ford Field atmosphere in Detroit so intimidating that it gives the Lions a 6-point spread?
I mean, it's like they're begging you to take Tampa Bay. Well, they don't have to beg me. I'm going to take them.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Buccaneers and the 6.5 on the road at Detroit. That's the early game kicking at what time you say it kicked?
6 o'clock.
Wow.
ABC.
Hey, make a note of that. Got to be ready to go early. Okay. So the Phantom 4, and we did a little different. We switched it up. We released these picks earlier on Friday, which gave us a better record than the week prior. Well, we'll say that. Another non-losing weekend for the Phantom, but we're ready to sweep the board. We're getting a little itchy. We're ready to sweep the board. 2-2 this week. Mississippi State, really in a game, Barry, that I was never uncomfortable with. Even before they kicked, I thought State's keeping this within 9.5, which they did. Had a chance to win the game, but they didn't.
They fiddle, they what's the word?
Fiddle farted.
Screwed it up.
Yeah.
At the very end.
That's not good. And still Billy Napier got fired.
Yeah, it didn't matter. He said, thinking, please let us win this game so I can keep my job. Well, they did win the game, and
Yeah. I don't know what it is about Mississippi State. Okay. This one, I did not know these numbers until Luke and Bill brought them up, but I thought Texas would go to Lexington. I know they're a road favorite, laying double digits, but I thought Kentucky's terrible.
They are.
The numbers
are terrible.
Those three, what was it, 380 to 170 or something?
Ooh, I've still got it up on my
I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, they had 25 first downs. Texas had 8.
Unreal.
In that game. I had no idea, but he's exactly right.
Yeah, and the total offense, how did Kentucky?
They outgained Texas. Kentucky.
Yeah.
Outgained Texas by about 200 yards in that game.
Yeah. You know what somebody once said, stats are for chumps. Yeah. Now I know why.
Yeah.
Then we had Bama laying 7.5 in this game. And we knew there'd be points, ebbs and flows in this game where it might be a little tighter. I will say, obviously the pick six, big swing of momentum.
Huge.
The safety was technically a 9-point swing because Bama gets the ball, goes down, and scores again.
Yep.
That was huge.
Yep.
But I thought, there again, we covered the spread. One thing I do think about that game that I think that Alabama really could have taken the life out of Tennessee. They got the ball to start the second half and went 3 and out. Alabama did. I thought, man, you could just really put the hammer down here. But I guess I can't be critical. They won the game by 17 points. So everything's good there. Then,
okay.
Oh, I don't know. I felt I don't want to say I felt of all the games, I felt the best about this one, but I really liked this spot. Auburn at home as a 1.5-point underdog in a game.
Something to prove.
They're going to win this game outright. They are.
I said the same thing. Same thing.
And they fall short yet again. I'm talking short because this team's losing by less than a touchdown.
I mean, like Terry Bowden short. Short.
So that could have really helped us out there. 2-2 on the week, 14, 16, and 2 on the year. Better than Stanford Steve. I will say that for what that's worth. But we'll get them back again this week on Friday from Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. Now, also I mentioned, Barry, that I thought it was an interesting weekend in terms of top 25 teams taking it on the chin. Friday night, Miami gets beat. I mentioned Nebraska.
Carson Beck throws like 4 interceptions.
Yeah. Nebraska's a top 25. A team loses on Friday night as well.
Texas Tech was number 7. They lose at Arizona State, lose for the first time. There were a couple. Of course, LSU was number 10. They lose. There's going to be a big shakeup. I mean, there has been a big shakeup. But does anybody really care about the polls?
No.
Or are you just looking at the college football playoff?
And I'm looking at the college football playoff, which yesterday, that's probably not the first place I went yesterday to get a recap of the college weekend. I think you probably know where I went after I got my cup of coffee.
No.
He only had 1 article yesterday, but he's got 2 today, so he's kind of made up for it a little bit.
Well, here's the projection for that before we get to the Daily Dog.
Oh, we've already got it. It's Tampa Bay plus 6.5.
Sorry, I knew that. Let's see. The projection is that Alabama would go in after week 8 as a number 2 seed. Your top 4 seeds would be Ohio State, Alabama, Indiana, and the number 4 seed would be the Georgia Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 Big Tens, 2 SECs, just the way they want it. Tony Petiti and Greg Sankey are going, yes, excellent.
Yeah.
Alabama would play as a 2 seed on January 1st in the Sugar Bowl. I hope they don't play Oklahoma because Alabama played Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl before, and that place was half empty. And but they would play either Texas Tech or Ole Miss.
All right.
The first round
be interesting. I'm not sure Ole Miss is making the playoff.
I like them though. Still,
I do. I like them too.
Texas A&M right now would be projected to host Miami and College Station. The winner would play Ohio State. Texas Tech would host Ole Miss. Texas Tech would be a 7 seed. That would be in Lubbock, and the winner there plays Alabama.
Lubbock.
Number 6, Oregon versus number 11, Notre Dame in Eugene. The winner there will play Indiana. Can you imagine Notre Dame playing Indiana in the second round? That'd be big in the Hoosier State. The final one would take place at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Number 5, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech would be the first one out of the first 4 against South Florida. That's the one that all of you people would be griping about. Oh, Georgia Tech, South Florida, come on, give me a break.
Forget it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like right now.
I'm kind of like Luganville. I'm not sure Tech. I need to look at their schedule. I'm not sure Tech's going to have enough gas to finish the regular season and get into the playoff. You know, they've dodged a few bullets, but that's what it takes. You got to dodge a few. You got to have some lucky bounces of the ball.
Well,
one of the projections I saw has Texas A&M as the 4 seed over Georgia. Maybe thinking that the Aggies are going to hold on. Georgia would be a on-campus game taking on South Florida. Ohio State, Indiana, Alabama, and Texas A&M, with Alabama in the Sugar Bowl taking on either BYU or Miami. A rematch of the 92 Sugar Bowl.
Here's the thing that was my biggest takeaway out of all of this. Indiana, they're ranked number 2 in the country in the polls. They'll be a number 3 seed in Miami after John's little diatribe last week where he lamented the lack of anybody decent remaining on the Indiana schedule. You know what the College Football Playoff Committee says? Who cares? So what?
I don't know.
They're still going to get a first-round bye. Kurt Signetti is still playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. Here's what we got. UCLA at Maryland, at Penn State, Wisconsin, who lost 34-0 at home last week, and at Purdue for Indiana. None of them ranked. It don't matter, John.
This Indiana giddy fest that people are on when they don't play anybody, but when they get to the Big Ten championship game and Ohio State beats them by 30,
still gonna be in.
Oh, they're gonna make the playoff, but I don't think they're gonna be one of the top 4 seeds.
I don't think they may not lose to Ohio State. Ohio State predicted to be the number 1 seed overall, and they are 7-0 right now. Ohio State, what do they have left?
Nobody. Embarrassing.
The only
ought to be
ranked team they've got is Michigan, who's right now at number 25. Penn State, at Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers.
Come on.
And then at number 25, Michigan. That's all it don't matter. I mean, it's a conference game, so they can't help it. You know, it's not like they schedule these games, but just get in, people. If you can get in the top 4, fine. You ain't got to play anybody. Come on. Just get those W's. And everything else will take care of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm a big strength of schedule guy. I understand that the committee is as well. Okay. You teased it, Barry. I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to go get a cup of coffee. I'm going to sit here. The Major League Baseball recap. We know the Dodgers are in the World Series tonight. Their opponent will be officially known.
The game takes place in Toronto. It's Game 7. Toronto wins yesterday in Toronto 6-2 to get the series tied up at 3-3. Okay. They play at 7:10 tonight.
Okay.
Seattle will start George Kirby
You down on that? Is that the guy with the mustache that got racked? I mean, this guy got beat up the other night.
Yes, that was him.
Ooh,
against
man.
Shane Bieber, not Justin, but Shane, who has his own mustache for the Blue Jays tonight. Meanwhile, sitting over there, fat and sassy, the Los Angeles Dodgers saying, yeah, you guys knock yourself out. World Series Game 1 begins this Friday.
In LA or Toronto or where?
If Toronto, they haven't figured that out yet. I'll just go ahead and say that.
Okay.
That's still, if the World Series goes to a Game 7, that would be played on November the 1st. That ain't right.
Yeah. I think Tommy Lasorda once said baseball should not be played in November.
No doubt.
I've heard all these baseball purists out there talking about, their baseball talk. And I guess they don't use this phrase anymore, but it used to be America's game.
Oh, yeah.
Baseball invented in the good old US of A.
Yep.
So you're telling me that we're possibly are going to have a World Series champion that's not even in the United States?
Yep.
I mean, come on, baseball. Come on.
This happened before.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Happened before a couple of times.
And to be fair, I believe an NBA team in Toronto. Do they still have an NBA team in Toronto?
They do.
Okay. I think they won the NBA title one year.
They did.
The Raptors. So
they did.
I don't know if I'm really down on that, but I don't know. I don't have any problem with Canadians. I don't deal with them very often.
You just wait until the NFL gets a Canadian franchise. Then John will be like, what? They got their own league. Let them play the Tiger Cats versus the Rough Riders.
I've always been a fan of the 55-yard line. I've always thought that was pretty cool.
Have you ever laid something down on a Canadian football league game?
No, I have never wagered on Canadian because the rules are kind of quirky. You got to be careful about those rules. And of course,
you sit there thinking,
like 25
that's
yards
illegal
deep.
motion. That's illegal motion. They're both heading towards the line of scrimmage before the ball snapped. What are you doing?
And you can throw a bomb from the 5-yard line. I mean, heck, the end zones are so deep.
That is true.
And I don't like the goalpost at the goal line.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
That is weird.
And I just don't. That's not my cup of tea.
Take a break. Still to come. It's our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel coming up. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. One additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughan Road in Pepper Tree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
Drive away in a brand new Chevy Silverado Trail Boss or win your share of $25,000 in free play and cash during Victoryland Casino's Truck and Bucks giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama.
Drawings November 7th and 8th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 20 minutes to the top of the hour. A lot of conversation today, a lot of different subjects. One, of course, the future of Hugh Freeze. Haven't heard anything. Not sure we will. Not sure they're going to make a change. Just don't really have a strong feeling about it. I know a lot of Auburn people, are clamoring for it. But, Barry, you got to look at the whole big picture. Who you're going to hire, what's going to happen to your roster. Would it be a better change? Because Auburn want to make another change. They've made a lot of changes in the last 10 to 15 years. I think you just kind of got to bite your lip and move on. As of this point, I just don't think you can. Don't think you can do it.
Yeah, they didn't. Okay. Is it?
Oh, I can't hear Barry. Where'd he go?
Yes. I'm muting my mic over and over again.
There we go.
All right, now I'm unmuted.
Yes.
It's been a battle. Okay. Is the point made by Tom Lugan, Bill? He talked about Florida, and he said maybe, after Urban Meyer, you got Jim McElwain and Will Muschamp and Billy Napier and Dan Mullen, and they all haven't worked. Maybe it's not them. Same thing with Auburn after, Tuberville getting, was it really Harsin? I think it was. Hugh Freeze, why are they? Is there something institutional that's going on that's keeping Auburn? Jason Caldwell points this out. He says, since 1990, Auburn has lost 4 or more games in 27 seasons. Out of 35 years, they've lost 4 or more in 27 of them. Auburn football has lost fewer than 4 games in a year, just 8 times. It's only happened twice in the last 15 seasons that Auburn has won more than 8 games. He says, I don't know what the answer is in terms of the future of Hugh Freeze, but Auburn's lack of success didn't just start with him over the last 3 years, and it didn't start with Brian Harsin before him. It has been a continual downhill slide for the program, with the exception of a few blips on the radar. He says, what does that mean moving forward? Is another change magically going to fix Auburn's issues? Maybe the right coach does that, but maybe you turn into Nebraska if you continue to make moves. Is there something more than just, Hugh Freeze ain't the guy, we got to get somebody else? Maybe.
I find it hard to believe, Bear. I know there's a lot of talk about Auburn and money, that maybe they can't compete with other schools in this league, in across the country. They're only going to spend X amount of money on a coach, only going to spend X amount of money on an NIL collective. If that's the case, they're not going to win. They're not going to be competitive. But I can't believe Auburn's not going to do everything they can to pay a coach the going rate, what everybody else out there is paying their coaches, and have an NIL collective like everybody else has. I mean, we're told they don't have the most money, but they don't have the least either. That they're right there where they should be in terms of NIL and how it is spent. And people always, Auburn's got so many rich donors and they got more money they know what to do with. Well, just because they got wealthy guys at Yellowwood and Apple and all these other places doesn't mean these guys are just going to open up their checkbook to pay athletes. I mean, they're pretty smart.
There's a reason why they're wealthy. It's because they want a return on their investment. And guess what? Texas A&M's got wealthy guys.
Yes,
and
sure
so
do.
Georgia.
So does Texas.
So does Alabama, and so does everybody.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have the guy at Yellowwood, and they don't have the guy at Apple, but they got other guys.
They do.
They got guys at Walmart and guys at Tyson and guys at such and so mutual fund. It ain't no real big problem.
So I've read this probably for the third time in a 2-week period. Not exactly, kind of rearranged, shuffled words and phrases a little bit, sentences maybe restructured a little bit. But this morning, in one of the 2 quality pieces that Philip dropped at Auburn Undercover, this one I believe is in the Reflections
from a rough Auburn weekend and more.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think I've ever heard that headline before, read that headline. But this is what I'm talking about, and I just don't agree with it.
All right.
That's my prerogative. The clamoring for a change in leadership is loud, but there is only silence from athletics director John Cohen. As of a week ago, Freeze retained the support of key donors. Does he still? I don't know. But the key player remains Cohen. Major donors certainly will be a part of the process. But in the end, whether to move on or stick with Freeze will be his call. I know that sounds great. That puts all the power at the desk of the athletic director. I don't believe that. Because if some well-heeled donors, trustees, whatever you want to call them, walk into John Cohen's office or give him a call and express their feelings and opinions in the direction they feel like it should go, you're telling me John Cohen's going to say, I really appreciate you taking time to call me today and give me your thoughts and opinions, but that's not what I'm going to do.
Do you believe, tongue pop, do you believe that donors would actually do that? That they would actually go into his office or call his office or send an emissary to his office and say, you got to make a change. Really? Is that what donors do at Auburn? Come on.
I mean, I think you're talking about the same donor group that told the former coach, you got to quit calling plays. You got to let somebody else call the plays. So, yes, to answer your question, I do think. So, there again, I've read this several times over the last couple of weeks. I just don't believe it. If the power brokers want a change, it's going to happen, whether John Cohen wants it to change or not.
Yeah, the power brokers can also make a change with John Cohen if they want it. Let's take a break. When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victory Lane 777 Topic Wheel on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the river region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust.
The drive into fall event is bigger and better at Stivers. Over 150 new Rams in stock, up to $21,000 off or 0% for 6 years, and heavy-duty Rams $13,000 off.
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
The drive into fall event is bigger and better at Stivers. Gladiators $11,000 off, Wranglers $12,000 off, even 3-row Grand Cherokees $13,000 off or 0% for 5 years.
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
Whew, all right, back at it on a Monday. Beautiful day here. Glad we got a lot of conversation going on. Great conversation today. Good stuff on our River Region Straw chat line as well. And I do see the Gurn Jr. Victorland 777 Topic Wheel loosening up. Of course, Victorland open 24/7, 365. You can be a winner too.
Here we go. They've got 6. We don't know what they are. We don't have any idea. We go off the cuff on this, which we do a pretty good job at.
Yeah, I think we do too. Ooh, quarterback hell. Where could that be? Let me think.
Oh, the Jets are terrible.
Yeah.
They stink.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Here's the deal with the Jets. They have Justin Fields, who I think last week threw for negative 11 yards. They are 0-6, or however many games they played. They may be 0-7. They've lost those games. They don't have any options. Justin Fields, what else?
Yeah.
Anyway, very, very bad.
They do have the Saints later this year. Maybe that Saints looked terrible yesterday. I watched a little bit of that game against the Bears.
The play seemed to want Tyrod Taylor, who is one of those guys that's been in the NBA, the NFL for about 15 years, and nobody really, he's just kind of hanging around. Oh, yeah, Geno Smith, Tyrod Taylor.
Journeyman. He's a journeyman.
The third quarterback is Brady Cook, who played at Missouri, who came back from the emergency room last year to lead the Missouri team to a win over Auburn. That Auburn had.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I forgot about
So
that.
there we go. See, we went from the New York Jets quarterback to Auburn. Has there ever been an Auburn quarterback play for the Jets? No, but we got it there.
Well,
Stan White played for the Giants.
Yeah.
Well, I know. Okay.
No, I don't think the Jets have ever had an Auburn quarterback. Had two Alabama quarterbacks, Joe Namath and Richard Todd.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's spin it. See what pops up. Victorland 777 topic will exit 22 off 95 in Shorter, Alabama. It's going to be
elite. Didn't McElroy play for the Jets?
Barry did. He had one start. I think he got knocked out.
Yes. All right, here we go. Elite. Oh, this is coming up. Aaron Rodgers has been around for a million years. I didn't realize this. 4 quarterbacks have a win over every team. Brett Favre, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. They've been around a long time. And obviously you have to have played on more than one team so you can beat your former team. Rodgers has won over every franchise except the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
He has the Packers this year?
Let's see. They got Maybe that's what he's talking about. The Packers. Yeah, they play the Steelers in Pittsburgh on Sunday.
Oh, boy.
NBC.
There you have it.
NBC Football Night in America game Sunday night. If it's the only team he hasn't beaten, Packers come into the Steelers on Sunday night. Played for the Packers
also,
for forever. So there you go.
The Drew Brees record, he might not be the only one, but I think I recall he played of the current, when he was playing his last year, he made the loop of playing in every NFL stadium. Not only beating every NFL team, but he's played a game in every NFL stadium. That was, an NFL team at that time or whatever. I thought that was kind of neat.
That is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Look at John, Mr. Trivia over here.
Mr. Trivia guy. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Let's keep going.
Right.
Let's keep going.
4 more to go. Victorland 777 topic wheel. Hey, don't forget about the Trucks and Bucks giveaway out there at Victorland. The more times you go, the better your chances of winning.
Yep, that's going to be a big deal. Big runner.
This can't be an Alabama topic.
D3. Curry College, named after former Alabama coach. Never mind. Anyway, Division III, Curry College beat Nichols.
Yeah.
71-27. Curry College running back Monty Quinn ran for 522 and 7 touchdowns.
Man.
No player in NCAA history had ever topped 500 yards in a game before. Also, he had 7 touchdowns. That's a new record. He 522 yards on 20 carries. Do you ever wonder about this? Do you ever wonder what would happen if Herschel Walker had played at Mercer?
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I don't know if Mercer had a football team back then. They didn't. And Herschel Walker from Wrightsville, Georgia, played football at Mercer. Would it look like this?
Can't stop this kid.
You know, I mean, that guy, number one, my question is, what in the heck is he doing in Division III?
Yeah.
You know, that guy needs to be somewhere else. So that's not really fair.
I mean, did they not put in the second string running back? Are they trying to get this kid the record or something? Wow.
I don't know. Geez. He only ran it 20 times. I don't know where Curry College is or where Nichols
I've
is.
seen high school stadiums with bigger fan bases than that.
But still, you know, that's my number one thing. That guy shouldn't be playing D3.
Yeah.
That's his deal. He must have gotten kicked out of a couple.
I mean,
anyway, there you go.
yeah.
Monty Quinn.
Monty Quinn. That's an interesting name. I like that. Monty Quinn.
All right. There you go.
All right. Let's see what else we got. Couple of 3 left on the wheel. Couple of green, an aqua green, and a purple. Purple. I like not knowing what these are and trying to guess.
Domination.
Domination. What is
Who
this?
could it be? Could it be Kentucky over Texas? No.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is Formula One. Max Verstappen.
Oh, yeah.
He had dominated the U.S. Grand Prix. He has won the World Grand Prix title, Formula One title, 5 times.
Really?
He holds in his hand the ugliest trophy you'd ever want to see with horns on it or something.
Pretty
like
bad.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they won it. And I think he gave like all of his bonus money back to his crew team members or something.
Good for him.
Max
Awesome.
Verstappen.
You know, as I was channel surfing yesterday, one of the satellite, maybe it was Fox Radio or ESP, one of them, had that race on. And I'm thinking, is this a big deal? Why is this Grand Prix race on today?
I don't know. I mean, Grand Prix is funky anyway. I mean, we see it all the time on the Eastern Boulevard, but I mean, they're right in the middle. Do they shut the whole town down? I mean, is Monaco shut down? Hey, you guys can't go on the streets. We're running at 180 miles an hour through these little curves and these little shopping centers and stuff.
Hey, I do think it was a good day for Joe Gibbs racing at Talladega yesterday, I understand, with the big race that they had there. Beautiful day for racing up at Talladega. All right, let's see what else we got on the wheel. 2 left on the wheel as we spin away. Let's see what
I kind of
comes
want to
up
know what
next.
insane is all about here. It's not going to get there, though. Stay on clinched.
Oh, speaking of Talladega, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at this. I love it. Infield.
That's what gets John going.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that. They got the Yellowwood label there, just like that at Pat Dye Field.
Yeah. Is he at Talladega or is he in John Cohen's office?
Yeah.
John's in his.
Yeah.
Chase Briscoe, Joe Gibbs Racing. Last lap pass. Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Cup Series playoff race. He's 30. He's from Indiana.
Good for him.
Is Denny Hamlin still racing? He won last.
Is Chase Briscoe related to Lenny Briscoe from Law and Order?
Or Marlon Briscoe, who used to be a backup quarterback for the Dolphins?
Was that the last lap and the guy still crossed the finish line?
Like backwards, like Ricky
they didn't have
Bobby
time to put the red flag out or the caution flag out.
I wonder
looks
how
like that guy spun out coming into the tri-oval there. Yeah, love it. You know, I love Talladega, particularly the first 10 laps and the last 10 laps. It's
the middle bunch.
It's those 150 in the middle that are kind of tough, but it's still fun. All right. Let's spin it. Here you go. Insane. Let's see what's going on. Insane today. Got a lot of thoughts of what it could be. Just not real sure.
Oh, holy smoke.
How about this guy?
Get this. This happened. Yesterday, we were watching that. I was watching that game a little bit, kind of getting the New York Giants, a statement victory. They were leading. They were shutting out the Broncos. It was like 26-0 or 19-0 going into the fourth quarter. Broncos, do we have 26-8 at one point, late. And you read right there, 1,602 teams had won in succession, down 18 points late in a ball game. That streak is over. The Broncos scored 25 points in the final 6 minutes. Wow. They scored all 33 of their points in the fourth. They got shut out through the first 3 quarters, and then they scored 33 in the fourth. They were down 19-0, then down 26-8. Midway through the fourth, Broncos win it 33-32.
Former Oregon quarterback Bo Nix leading them to a victory. What about that?
Unbelievable.
That attack.
What do you do if you are former Alabama offensive coordinator Brian Dable, whose club takes that L when they were up so big? What do you do in the locker room?
Former. That's the reason why.
Hey, half of football is populated by former Alabama offensive coordinators. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, his quarterback, Jackson Dart, was coached in college by a former, it's all he's had is former Alabama offensive coordinators coaching him since high school. So yeah, that's a bad loss.
Tough loss. Bad. Yeah, that's one that'll sting. Yeah, you'll think about that one a while.
Yeah.
All right, tomorrow, our man Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, bottom of hour number 1 on the show. We'll also check in with Travis Ryer on YouTube, Talking Tide. Tough one for the Jags overseas yesterday.
At least it got done early.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And that travel, it's jet lag got them. But we'll talk all about that. A lot more conversation on the program for a Tuesday. Looking forward to it.
Yes, our thanks to Tom Luganbill. As always, a quality visit with Tom from ESPN. Our thanks as well to our producer, Guerin Jr. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.